Open. Okay, so welcome to our first best practice series workshop. My name is Elisa Kirschhoffer and I teach high school French. This year, I'm also teaching remote middle school and high school French through Idioma. We're doing a remote academy program with Massachusetts School District. And I teach, I do workshops, and I'm marketing communication specialist for Idioma. So lots of really good stuff there. I've been working with Melissa for a really long time. She and I both taught at Merrimack College at different times, long time ago. And then she and I both taught at North Andover High School at different times, a long time ago. So we've been sort of connected for almost 10 years now. And I'm super fortunate to be a part of this team and to get to work with Idioma. And those of you who've had a chance to take some classes and had some conversations with Melissa or know Melissa, you know that she is your person and this is your place. Such a wonderful, loving community to be a part of. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, it's an amazing team. So the workshop tonight is really just about digging into a cool resource. We've offered a couple webinars that some of you have attended. Thank you. So on best practice strategies, our amazing teammate, Maureen Lamb, has a bazillion, fafillion, that's a real number, ideas. And she shares those. And it feels like every time we do a webinar where Maureen shares these ideas, everybody just wants to start playing with them and trying them. And so we thought, wouldn't it be a good idea if we would put them into a workshop? So tonight's kicking us off with Flippity, and then we've got more coming. So watch your email and watch, if you're not already on our social media, watch the social media too, to see when those are coming up. They're all gonna be free for you. So, and please encourage your colleagues to join as well. We do ask that everybody register just so then we can have an idea of how many people are going to be there. Because if we have like 40 people that register for a workshop, we're going to want to split that into two so that people get an opportunity to ask questions. You don't want to go to a workshop that you can't work in, right? Like when you can't have access to the instructor. So yeah, so let's get started. I'm going to share my screen with you. And we'll talk about Flippity here. I want to make sure I do this correctly. So if I show a screen, if I move onto a screen that you can't see, please just feel free to speak up. I'm going to our workshop is going to be similar to what my classroom looks like. At any point in time, feel free to unmute and just jump in. This is really informal. So if you need me to stop, if you need me to back up, if I'm going too fast, just jump in and say, can you hang on a second, Elisa, can you go back to that? Or can I ask a question? You can ask questions in the chat. If I'm being honest with you, I have a harder time following the chat and doing the, and you guys, if you've done that, you know, like when you're teaching and somebody's chatting you, it's possible, but I might not get to you right away. So if it's a quick thing that you need me to get, just interrupt me, please. All right, so can you guys see my presentation here? Oh, here's my 6-year-old coming in to say hello. He gets a movie night tonight because mommy has to work. Here you go, bud. Did it work? Okay, great. Sorry about that. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? Can you see my presentation here? Thank you for the reactions. I appreciate it. So we're going to talk about Flippity today. Welcome to Flippity. And do you know what? I already made the first mistake that we all, I did not yet share the link with you, did I? Let me make sure you have this right away. Copy link. Check your chat here, ladies. I'm going to throw this Google Slides in the chat for you. There we go. So you can access it later. I'm going to send this to you, and if you lose it tonight, you close out and it's the chat's closed out and you think it's gone. Don't worry. All of our resources are going to get sent to you in an email later on anyway. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Okay. Here we are. Great. Okay, so Flippity, really fun resource. If you guys have tried it before but haven't really dug into it, highly recommend it. It was Maureen at her last strategies webinar, actually, who showed us this, and I dug into it and I got so excited about it, and I tried a whole bunch of things, and then I thought, oh my gosh, I want to work on this with other people too. So this is what Flippity looks like. Can we all see this page now, the Flippity page? So there's a million different activities that you can choose from to use. Some of them are really simple to set up and some of them are more complicated to set up. I chose to show you the quiz show today because that one's more complicated. So once you understand how to manipulate the template and what to click on and what not to click on, it'll make it easier to do any of the other ones. So the quiz show I'm going to go in depth on, and I also gave you links to the randomizer that I did with my students to make silly sentences. It was really fun. That one's pretty easy to put together. So they're both in there. We'll go in depth on the quiz show, but you can also check out the randomizer too. So this is what the website looks like when you go onto it. At this point, I'm going to give you guys a choice. If you're like me and you want to do it at the same time, you're welcome to open up your Flippity right now and start working on it while I'm giving directions. If you wanted me to give directions first and you want to wait till I'm done and then you go in and work on it and ask me questions, you're totally welcome to do that either way. When you go into the flippity.net, you're going to click on quiz show template here. You can do demo and instructions, but I'm going to do that for you. So if you want to go back in later, you can always do that later. So the template, it's what's going to bring you to this quiz show template. So you'll make a copy here, and this part I screwed up twice. So let's learn from my mistakes. Make sure that you're saving your copy in the Google Drive that you want it to be in. So what I mean by that is if you have multiple Google accounts like me, I've got my Idioma account. I also have a personal one, and I have my public high school where I teach one. If you have multiple ones, make sure you're synced in and linked into the right account. Otherwise, you're going to go try to find your template later and you're going to tear your hair out, which I did, trying to find, oh my gosh, I can't remember where I saved this thing and now I can't edit it. Then I made a whole new one all over again and then realized I had saved it in the wrong drive. So save yourself that aggravation and make sure it's in the right drive right away. So when we look at this template, this is a really nice example one. I'm going to show you the one that comes up is one that you can change. I'm going to show you the one that I already manipulated. And that one is here. So here's my template here. So I have this saved in multiple places at this point. Right now it's in my Idioma drive because my students from Remote Academy use it. But this is a French one, Unité 1 Jeopardy game. So you've got these blue, anywhere you see this blue, either a row header here or the column headers, whatever you do, do not change them. They're blue. They want you to leave them alone. If you change those, your Flippity won't work correctly. And do you know what might be a smart thing to do? Is to show you what does this look like when it's all done, so you know what you're working towards. This is what the Flippity looks like. It's a Jeopardy game show. It's super fun. So the kids will call out, okay, je veux les verbes pour 200. All right, we'll choose les verbes pour 200. How do you say I eat? Now this is for French one, so kids are reviewing some regular ER verbs. How do you say I eat? Je mange. Okay, and then whichever team gets it correct gets a check mark. And it plays a cute little sound. I hope you could hear that sound. Let's make sure we can. There we go. And if the team gets it wrong, it plays a little wrong sound. And then to get back to the main screen, you simply click again and it'll bring you back to the main screen. One of the coolest things I liked about this, if any of you have used Jeopardy Labs, that one's pretty fun, but it's a lot harder to manipulate the template, I think. One of the things that I really like about this is you can include pictures. So which French painter is famous for his water lilies? Do any of you know? Who is this?
Monet.
Monet, oui, bien sûr. Claude Monet. And you can even visit his home and gardens in Giverny in France. So I'm going to give you that point there, Lisa. Nice job.
Yay.
Yay. Then we go back and maybe, okay, Lisa wants to choose again. She's going to pick, let's see, miscellaneous for 500 here. Who is this? And watch this.
For France, Président Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel, tu as la parole.
We can play a video, which is great. So you could have multiple videos in multiple places. This is for French 1, so they don't necessarily, cognates are still kind of a new concept to them. So even though she clearly says Président Emmanuel Macron, kids who aren't familiar with the culture yet might actually struggle with that one a little bit, but so cool that you can put the video in there. So Lisa, I know you would have gotten that one right, so I'm going to give you that.
No, probably not.
Oh, really?
No, because I'm
Emmanuel
not.
Macron.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe
okay.
Pierre would have.
I would hope so, yeah. Great. So there's all kinds of different, what are some cultural stereotypes? There's all kinds of different questions that you can come up with. When can French teenagers get their driver's license? So in this one, I chose to cover all these different topics. When you're back here working in your template, you have to use all of these. You can't delete any of these columns. So when I was first looking at this, I didn't see that there was a category 6 and a finale. So I tried to publish, I'll show you how to do this in a minute, but I tried to publish this and play, and it wouldn't work because I didn't realize I'd missed a whole thing. So you can't delete any of the rows and you can't delete any of the columns. If you do, your game won't publish correctly and you'll get really frustrated. Believe me, I've done it. So this is the general template, what it looks like. It puts all the question quantities and everything in there for you, which is so nice. You can't change those, not the end of the world. But everything here in this gray, in these shades of gray, that is all editable. And you can even add more rows if you'd like. Questions so far?
Do you do this as individual kids or do you try to get them into teams somehow?
Great question, Lisa. So I've played this in the classroom with live kids. I've played this over Zoom. I've never played this asynchronously. So you could, though, give this to the kids and say, keep track of your own points. Most of the time, kids are pretty honest because what's the point in lying about it? You could do that. I just lost your question. I don't think I answered it.
No, you did. I was just thinking like, would there be a way they could get, if they were doing it remotely, or like some of my kids are remote and some of them are not remote in a hybrid situation, how could I include everybody in that? Maybe they'd have a partner that was remote, something like that.
That's a great question. So on their teams, yeah, what I would do here is I would match up roomies and zoomies. So my friends that are in person and then my friends that are on Zoom, I would match up roomies and zoomies and I would say, okay, I've got half and half. So I'm going to have 2 roomies work with 2 zoomies and split up the teams. You can't change the number of teams. It doesn't let you change that, but you just don't give points to 1 or 2 of the teams. Unfortunately, you also can't do more than 4 teams. It doesn't allow you to. So hopefully you've got classes that are small enough, either that or you just split into 2 different games. And maybe if you've got someone helping you in the room, they could lead the other game. Or if you have a colleague that has a free period and wants to play Flippity with you, they could lead one game and you could lead another. I really hope none of you have classes that big that you would need to make more than 4 teams. That sounds like a nightmare, but it can be done, certainly.
I have a quick question, and
yeah.
it might be a dumb question.
No,
so
never.
Because I'm also thinking I have a hybrid model as well, where I have some kids in front of me and I have some kids on Google Meet, and it varies daily because sometimes I expect a kid in front of me and he comes in remotely. So that goes on. Is this all an oral language? Like, so there's nothing where they could type their answers except maybe in chat. Is that how this works?
Great question.
They don't access this at all, right? Okay.
Correct. Yep. You'll be sharing your screen just like I'm sharing my screen with you for this. You'll be sharing your screen with them to do this. That helps you be the game show host also, which if you're a big gregarious personality like me, you'll ham it all up, which is really fun. So you could, though, if you wanted to, you just have to give them the link and assign it to them, and they can play just for cultural enrichment or whatever you choose to be. They can play it on their own, certainly. So if you were in a hybrid situation, what I might do is assign breakout rooms ahead of time, manually decide if you're is a class that you need to be really intentional about who the kids work with. And then give them an opportunity to work together to talk out the answers before you bring them back. So you don't have to run it exactly like Jeopardy is run, where just one person represents each team. You could have it be, all right, here's the question, goes to everybody, send them all out in their breakout rooms for 2 minutes, bring them all back in, and then have a group answer. And if they get it wrong, it goes to a different group. Something like that. I love that cooperation element of it. My 7th and 8th period, the Zoom is garbage by that point in the day. So getting them out into breakout rooms and back in a timely manner is nearly impossible. So usually in my 7th and 8th periods, by the end of the day, I have the kids work as roomies and as Zoomies. So they don't always cross and get to work with each other in a game like this where the breakout rooms need to be short and quick.
Yeah, it's tricky to do the breakout rooms short because I'm finding it's very time consuming getting them set up and then getting them back. We use Google Meet and it's kind of slow. And so, yeah, I was just like wondering, I would love to be able to do teams, but it's just hard to get them to be able to consult with each other.
Yeah.
Like even Quizlet Live, I've been playing individually because I don't know how to do that as teams like this.
That's really, the Quizlet Live. I'm going to ask one of my colleagues if they'll do a Quizlet Live one and then a workshop and address that question, because that's a really good one. You could give the students these Jeopardy questions ahead of time and say, work in your groups for 15 minutes, do as many questions as you can. We're going to come back to, maybe you say for this, you have them decide for each question, so Lisa is going to be in charge of answering this question. Olivia is going to be in charge of answering this question. You can kind of split it up so that the kids all have to participate in some way. And instead of doing the really quick breakout rooms where there's just so much room for error and frustration, giving them the questions ahead of time and then giving them time to work on them. And then when they come back together, if each kid is responsible for certain questions, they've got that responsibility that they need to bring to the group. And if they've had a chance to get those answers ahead of time, it's a great opportunity to boost a kid's confidence too. So that might be what I would do.
Thank you. That's a really great idea. I really like that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's why we're here. Anybody want to add on that or?
Yeah, I have a question, Elisa. I love
Yeah.
that idea. How would you share the questions with them ahead of time? Do you think you would just put it in a doc, or is there a way to pull them out from here without retyping or doing so much cutting and pasting?
Oh, shoot.
You could do a
It's telling me-
screenshot, right?
It's telling, I'm sorry, just one second. It's saying my remaining meeting time is 10 minutes. I might have to, oh my gosh, this has never happened before. Okay, I might have to end the Zoom and restart it because we don't have a,
Yeah, I see that.
oh my gosh, that's really annoying. Okay, let me address that question and then we might have to do the super annoying thing of leaving and coming back. And then this is why first night of the workshop, ladies, we're working out all these details right now. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so here's what I would do. I'm going to take, you can just take sections of the screen of the, now I'm frazzled, spreadsheet, and copy and paste into a new spreadsheet. So if I just take these sections, and then you could do even as simple as this, just add another sheet to this existing sheet, and then we can rename this answer sheet. Let's see what happens if we just Control V paste. There we go. Okay. So now if we go back in to our quiz show, we don't want the answers. We just want the questions. So can we just get these now?
I think that's a phenomenal 15 minutes for the kids to do that. And then they come back and they're prepared, hopefully. And then
Yep.
that's also going to be faster than if they try to figure it out. You've given them that
yeah.
pre-learning time.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I love
think
that. And a little break
awesome.
for the teachers to take a pause and do
Go to the
attendance and all
bathroom.
that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. What's that like? The only issue here is that you'll need to figure out the image thing. So we can play around with that though. We can figure out how to do that. That won't be hard, but you should be able to, because it's a Google Sheet, I think you can put an image in here.
And I was wondering too, if you could create a Google Sheet, just a regular Google Sheet, and then convert that to the answer sheet. You know what I mean? Like take
Okay.
that and copy and paste it onto this template.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Start with your own Google Sheet, then you don't have to worry about messing with the format of this one by hitting the wrong button, like, because I know I might mess it with it and break it somehow. But so if you did your own initial Google
I've already
Sheet,
done. Yep.
then you can convert that to this.
That's so
I think-
smart. Yeah. I think that's definitely the
By,
best.
by
idea.
just putting the row in, so taking, if you do a Google Sheet, then you just take that row and stick it in here, knowing how many, it's just a matter of how many rows there are. I don't
Yeah.
use Google Sheets very much, so I would just do my own where it would just be the questions, right? Or just,
Yes, you know what? And you could even do this, Lisa, to make it easier for yourself. You could take this one and duplicate it,
Awesome.
and then keep the title copy of, or change it to answer sheet, and manipulate this one. This one you don't want to manipulate, because then here is where you get the Flippity link that brings you to the game. And if you mess with the template in the wrong way, the game won't work. The other thing that you need to do before the game will play, before you have to publish, and it tells you this too, right in there. Don't forget, on the Get Link Here page, don't forget to publish your spreadsheet first. That's really simple. I was like, publish? What is that? I don't know how to publish anything. When you're still in your main template here that you fixed to be the game template, you just hit File, Publish to the web. That's literally all you have to do. Entire document, yep. Mine's already published, so, but the whole document, you want to publish it. I can't tell you, ladies, how many times I was like, it would not publish. I couldn't get the thing to publish. A million times I went back. Well, I'm one of those kids, I'm one of your students that doesn't read the directions. I just jump right in and try it. And as a result, pretty much everything in my life I do the hard way, but that's fine, because then, I learn best from mistakes. So all over, when you go look at the actual directions for how to make these Flippities, all over it says, do not edit any cell with a blue background. Do not delete rows or columns. I took this right from the Flippity website. It's even read like that right in the website. Don't manipulate this. So if you don't do it, it works. If you don't do what they say to not do, it works beautifully. And then this is how, so in this, I have all the steps for how to do it. I want to, and then all the embedding codes, I'm going to show you how to do that too. So you can insert an image, like you saw my painting, my Claude Monet painting. There's another one of Les Miserables and a couple other ones in there. And then there's the YouTube video. I don't have in mind a voice recording, but you can insert a voice recording. You have to use this program Vocaroo to do it. I'm not sure why. I couldn't find the answer to that, but you do have to use this program to do it. In order to insert, this is what you copy and paste into your template. It has these two brackets, image, is that called a colon when it's the two? That's right. The two dots. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Not an English teacher, right? And then the website has to look like this, and it has to be an image. So how do I use pictures in my quiz show? I gave some tips and tricks to that. It has your URL has to end in GIF, PNG, JPEG, or WebP. Those have to be your ending, otherwise the image won't work. Unfortunately, you can't just share an image from your Google Drive, even though you're making this in your Google Sheets. That doesn't work. You can use Google Drawings though, and then publish that to the web, because then that will give you the correct image link to be able to put in there.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you do a screenshot?
Yep.
Because I
As
do
long
that for
as
Google Forms. When I try to use an image on a Google Form quiz, I
Mhm.
found that it's easy to just take a screenshot. I have a picture in my Google Doc. I do a screenshot and then I just upload the screenshot.
you
Because
may,
a screenshot is a PNG. That's what a
yes, but you'll
screenshot is.
have to publish you'll have to put it into Google Drawing or upload it to a hosting site. I'll show you what that looks like.
Oh, okay. You can't just keep it on your desktop.
You
Okay.
can't, nope, it won't work as a file. It has to be a web link. But that's not difficult to do. I can show you how to do that really easily. And then you'll be able to add images to anything if you can do that. I mean, this is like coding. We're doing like coding classes right now. So our meeting time is going to end per my Zoom. So remember how I said I do everything the hard way? Didn't even occur to me to find out if we had a limit. Of course we do. So I'm just gonna jump out and jump right back in.
And we stay
Well, you're gonna have to, as soon as I end the meeting, you'll have to come back in.
into the same link.
Correct. Yep. Just
Okay.
follow this. This is my personal meeting room for Idioma, so you can just jump back
Okay.
in, and then we'll have another 40 minutes. We don't need to use all that time, certainly. But then we can start to pick through some of these little details to help you build. Ideally, I would love for you to have a whole game ready to go for tomorrow if you wanted to use it by the time we're done, or at least get it started and know how to finish it.
Yeah, I
So-
think it's really important to get the graphics in. That would
Yeah.
be really good.
Totally. Okay, so I'm just going to end the meeting here and then open it right back up. So if you're still with us and you want to stay with us, we'll see you in just a minute.